I'm Jason Whitlock. He's Marcellus Wiley. Time to put on our thinking caps. Tino Mobley and TJ Houshmandzadeh are back. As you all know, I'm a journalist, and we've got our resident Ivy Leaguer, Marcellus, here. So we're going to take a deeper look at a big issue in the sports world. Got a special cap for our Columbia grad, Darnell.
Out. Wow. Appreciate you, man. Nice to see you, son.
Nice.
We're going to move to Oxford, Mississippi, where two pro-confederacy groups organized a march onto the Ole Miss campus on Saturday. In response to the march, 8 Rebel basketball players took a knee during the anthem before their matchup with Georgia. One of the Rebel players described the action as a way to support their teammate, adding, quote, "We saw one of our teammates doing it, and we just didn't want him to be alone." Head coach Kermit Davis said, "I think our players made an emotional decision to show these people they're not welcome on our campus." All right, you guys, I'm pretty well established how I feel about kneeling during the national anthem. I don't think it's productive. I can't criticize these young people, though, at all, because they're following the lead of adults. And we as adults, and particularly those of us in the media, we've sent out a signal to everybody that if you see anything racial that you don't like, the appropriate response is to take a knee during the national anthem. And I don't think it's productive, but I don't blame the young people. And when I hear the young people say that they were actually fall in line like dominoes supporting their teammate, I think that's very courageous and the smart thing to do. Don't leave your teammate out there on an island. Don't let him take on that burden all by himself, fall in behind. So I don't blame the young people. I blame us as adults that we haven't explained to young people more appropriately what should the response be to ignorance.
I respect these players kneeling. I don't necessarily support the statements by their coach, Coach Davis, and I think he was being genuine, but I think he was also being absent of the fact that on this same campus, as they call it, the march began at the Confederate monument on the city square and ended at another Confederate monument in the heart of the Ole Miss campus. So it sounds disingenuous when you talk about we're trying to really deal with the tensions on campus, but these hate groups keep piercing our borders, when in reality, you have symbols that makes this the hate headquarters on campus, actual monuments that actually symbolize what these people are talking about. So how do you hate the individuals when you don't hate what they stand for, which is right there something that is still standing in of support for that same group? So it could get hypocritical. It could get a lot of contradiction in this. But, hey, Ole Miss, as a campus, if you really want to respect all, why do you still have the monuments there? Maybe a different conversation, but certainly let's not get distracted by the outrage and the backlash when in reality, the Confederate allies felt that they had symbols of support on campus.
I don't want to disagree passionately or whatever, but let's just remember, when you took that scholarship, those monuments were there.
Respect.
There's Ole Miss, the Rebel flag, there's no secrets there. But
I'm a little sensitive to that, right? I don't really agree with how the coach's response. I agree with Marcellus. It's just very mind-boggling to me in 2019 that you can still do things like this, right? And if you're going to say, give me an answer. Well, there's Jason, you said, well, if you don't act like this peacefully, how do you want us to act when this is being slapped in my face?
My answer would be, this is my response.
Right.
I'm going to shine brighter. I'm going to have more and more success. I'm going to irritate the people that think less of me by doing far more than them. That's the response.
That's been going on since Martin Luther King. Before that.
And are they mutually exclusive?
Again,
Can you do both?
You can, but I just don't. If I'm the hate group, the KKK, white nationalists, I've gotten the response that I wanted. I wanted to provoke a reaction from you. And as long as you allow idiots to control your actions, you're not going to move ahead.
But it's more
peaceful.
Peaceful.
I get it, but it's a response that took a little local story that no one knew about and made it national. I guarantee you, they're celebrating. this is the response they wanted, in my opinion.
So last week we talked about Colin Kaepernick and what change will he exact. And this is part of it. Had he not done what he did, we wouldn't have guys doing this. We wouldn't have players in schools.
They wouldn't even know.
People kneeling. And to me, it's courageous to do this because in our culture, you do this, now it's going to turn physical. So for them just to take a knee and say, we're going to counteract your protest peacefully by kneeling, they knew exactly what they were doing. But it's to the point now where it's what you see. You go to Ole Miss, if they have that type of monument on campus, you know what you're getting yourself into. It's not a secret, so to speak. It's 2019. For you to be able to even hold a rally, once you knew that rally was going to take place, they should have said, no, you're not coming on here. No, we're not allowing this.
Some kids are absent-minded as well, right? So you ride on that bus, or you see these certain things. They may not understand the dynamics of it. But some of the one who kneeled first, he understands the dynamics.
But Coutinho, I guess my point is just there's no place on planet Earth where these types of idiots don't exist. No place. And so the whole thing of like, we're going to spray enough raid that we're going to kill all the roaches. If you've ever lived in a roach-filled environment, it doesn't work that way.
Show don't.
Hell no.
Show don't.
Combat, none of that. You ever combat them little stickers?
It doesn't work that way.
Nothing.
And so all this taking a knee and spraying raid isn't going to cure the problem of roaches. And so roaches are going to be here. And ever since Adam and Eve, sin and stupidity have been a part of this planet. And again, that doesn't mean you accept it and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just taking a knee because, and I'm playing devil's advocate, just trying to get y'all to understand. We sit here and go, oh, those Confederate monuments are so offensive. And the people that believe, and
truthfully, it doesn't even bother me. You can call me whatever you want. As long as you put your hands on me, I'm okay.
Right, there you go, truthfully. And then but they say, well, hold on, this Confederate, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't represent what you say. And that falls on deaf ears to us. And we kind of laugh, what do you mean? And then we turn around and say, when they say, well, when you take a knee, it's offensive to me. Right. And we say, well, hold on, it doesn't mean that. We mean something totally else. And so, again, what I see are two of the same people having an argument. And I'm trying to say, look, don't be like them. Back away. Shine. Your best response to bigots is to shine. Trust me, the bigots watching this show are irritated because we up here shining.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting about this, to reconcile this conversation? It's always with the phrasing, to what avail? Like, to what greater good, greater gain? And I'm going to be honest. In my personal life, if you ever come at me with anything personal, overt, and racist, it does not get to me.
Right.
However, when you come at us, it seems like now I'm a little more agitated. And that's because I think I have a thicker skin, a greater experience than maybe the times where I was voiceless and powerless. And I can now take some of those hits for those who can't respond the same. And I think these players, especially at a young age, you're a teenager, you're in college, they're caught up in that conflict. You come at me at 44, stop it. It's laughable. But then you come at these kids and you come at all of them.
Excellent point.
That's where I think the rub is. It's not about the individuals.
You make an excellent point, and this is where I agree. I think what the kids are doing actually is relatively appropriate. When I was young, and
you get violent and you get,
I wouldn't say get violent, but you have an emotional response. Again, I've told a story on this show about me and my boy standing out in the middle of the street. We finna get it on with some white dudes that done dropped the N-word on him.
Right.
He's holding a Uzi. I didn't know it. I looked over like, damn. I just thought we was finna throw hands.
Level 10. Level 10.
So, again,
let me rethink
so
this.
I get as a kid, as a young person doing this, and again, I'm saying as adults, we've given this example. That, oh my God, if someone does something that irritates you, make sure you respond emotionally. Take a knee.
Right.
I just don't think it's as effective as we think. Coming up, we'll give you our approval rating for LeBron James, and Uncle Jimmy will be here to tell us what he thinks. Next!